In a world where systems of hierarchy often dictate power and influence, it is the profound wisdom that distinguishes itself by recognizing that the most noble form of such structures is the one that prioritizes the elevation of dignity and well-being for all individuals, as opposed to catering to the privileged few. Okay, that was some irrelevant philosophical quote that I found on Bing. My fault, y'all. Y'all keep asking for me. Here I am. Let's get straight to the shits. Okay, first I'd like to give some honorable mentions to Adu, Griffin, Xavier, and August. Let's get it. Okay, so at 15 I have Seth. She is a great all-around player with lots of tangibles such as defense, scoring, and shooting. She is also great in the playoffs, bearing a finals MVP to her name, alongside shooting 85% in the finals. I have her here with the foundation of her playoff performances, but also considering her play in the regular season, especially season 14. I will touch upon this in a further video, but she is here at 15. So at 4.
Man, I'm getting groovy, dog shit on me, girl, I'm getting groovy, dog shit on me, girl, it's a movie, yeah.
So at 14 I have Princess. She is the greatest scorer and three-point shooter to come out of the Western Conference hands down. I know her modern-era stats don't seem to accord with my statement aforementioned, but if you were there to watch her play during the 3-on-3 era, for instance, Cincinnati, you know exactly what I mean. I know I sound like a guy, but my reason here is just. But unfortunately she doesn't have a lot of success in the postseason and is just someone for the regular season. Let's go to the next. For 13 I have Kid. He is arguably the best center of this generation without a doubt. He is a triple machine and has accolades in his name such as a finals MVP, most triple-doubles in recent history, so on and so forth. I have him over players such as Seth and Princess due to him just being more consistent. I could make a case for Princess, but it is so difficult to do with no stats to work with. He is for sure better than KD. I'ma break it to you guys, KD is not on this list. Before you get to whining like a bitch, he simply didn't play the adequate competition during his peak years, therefore making it unjustifiable to put this trash bin with hops on this list. If you say that KD top 15, I'm going to look at you as an old head. On to 12. For 12 I have For 12 I have Victor. He is the greatest defender of all time, and I mean that shit by a fucking mile, dog. He is okay offensively, but his defense makes him as dominant as Kun on the defensive side of things. He has racked up defensive player of the years like how Cameron racks up assault charges. He is the only player to be average on offense and yet reach this plateau of greatness and seniority. He helped Isaiah win a championship in one of the most competitive seasons ever, being season 13. I do disavow season 11, but he is a great and will make any team he is on a contender. Such a valuable piece. For 11 I got For 11 I got Barry. Seeing the league develop and seeing improvements in the league puts him here. He is no longer top 10, but it's not to say that he is not great. He is. He just didn't play the adequate competition in his prime, played a Mickey Mouse biggie, and played mediocre with Mac. Barry is great because of his ability to dominate in the 3-on-3 era and go 39-1. Playing 40 games and only losing one is fucking crazy. I can't take that away, but however there are just better players. Let's get to the top 10. To recap. Seth at 15, Princess at 14, Kid at 13, Victor at 12, and Barry at 11. At 10 unfortunately I have Henry. Although I don't fuck with him, he is top 10 I guess. He should be lower, but the point guard position has never had much talent offensively until Emily and Janice came through. He made the finals twice and won a ring against Jordan, but that season was fucking frivolous and perplexing. Fuck that season. However, he is good at passing, so I guess he can stay here. At 9 I have Janice. At the time of this recording Emily is greater than Janice. I will touch on that later. Janice is the greatest scoring point guard ever, and he is the foundation and pillars to Phoenix. He came in top 3 behind Kun in the MVP race in his prime. But for 8 I have Emily due to her having a longer peak and her resilience in the playoffs. A lot of niggas like to say that she's not clutch or that she's inefficient, but she is clutch. We have seen this in Game 7 against Detroit, and if you haven't seen it, go ahead and watch that game. Although she is inefficient, she has never played with a roster with good spacing, therefore putting all of the pressure on her to shoot threes. In conclusion, Janice at 9, Emily at 8. Onto 7. For 7 I got the big sleep Tmac. I know no one calls him that, but fuck it. Tmac is the greatest scorer of the. He played for a long time and withstood every era. To be frank, he could be third all time if he played with someone who isn't fucking trash, but I digress. He once averaged 52 points a game in a single season and took a shitty Louisville team to Game 7 against Utah. That's crazy in its own right, but he did taint that shit by shooting like 6 from 24 to regress this good deed. Tmac is still the greatest pure forward of all time, and I hope he can get a ring before he retires. For 6 I got Biggie. Greatest Western Conference player ever and would probably be greater if he played in this era or better yet the Eastern Conference. He is one of the most overlooked players and is mocked more than respected. Fuck all of that shit. He is the greatest center of all time after Shaq and has so many attributes. It is crazy to think that he led the league in assists. If he played in this era he would make first team undoubtedly. Everyone talks about the Sacramento finals and only that, but we look past the fact that he overcame a 3-1 lead against Henry's LA team. Taking away the bullshit, he is 6th all time and represents the West well. At 5 I got Kobe. I had to ponder over him or Biggie, but Kobe is just better by a little. If not, it is really just interchangeable. Kobe gets the slight edge due to him just being a fucking beast offensively. Holy shit, the dude would not stop. Take a look at his stats. Kobe would fit into any era, top 5 scorer of all time without a doubt. He honestly could be below Biggie due to him leaving Orlando. Fuck all of that. However, he is here unless I change my mind later on. Just being candid.
After the fist fight is gunfire, boy, you get the best of me.
Boom, so at 4 I have Shaq. He is the most dominant player ever after Kun. He could alter the league and change the outcome of it sitting or playing. He manhandled Jamarian and shat on Biggie. He played pretty well in the 12-minute era as well. He has a plethora of accolades despite playing his peak in the Lack-O-Late era. I was talking my shit how he'd do ass if he were to play today. I stand on that, but he'd still make all FBL. Anyways, I guess onto 3. At 3 I got KG. KG is the greatest 4 of all time and was one of the first stretch. He had one of the deepest bags for a big and was the perfect addition for Kun. No more and no less, bro. KG could lead his own team, and not only is he amazing offensively, he is pretty extraordinary on defense. He is the best two-way player of all time after Isaiah. Oh. Speaking of which, guess who I have at 2?
Piglets in the barrel, we cooking up. Don't get a sparrow, no arrow. Room that's sitting out there, tune to the sheriff.
Okay, at 2 I have Kun. Kun is the. Nah, I'm fucking with y'all, it's Isaiah then Kun. Isaiah is second in my eyes due to him being the best two-way player, the most complete player, and having all of the accolades to back it up. I know he did have his bad moment playing like shit against Milwaukee, but he does have like the most complete career ever. He did everything and went through all of the ups and downs. He was labeled a bust at one point, but he reached the top. No one is touching Kun just because how unbelievable this nigga plays in the regular season. It's still fuck Kun, but you can't deny how fucking marvelous he plays during this time. It's not even apprehensive. I don't even have a word for this. Fuck it, stupendous is the word I will use. Anyways, I will do a brief summary on why I have this player over that player to clear the air and brush up potential controversy just brewing in you guys. All of my decisions were cohesively made on God. No favoritism at all. I don't fuck with that at all. Everything is based upon logic and simple reasoning. I really don't need a very strict criteria to follow, unlike some people. Let's continue. So many people may ask.
Tony, but you get it sound, but what it feel like? If I don't real by lunch, it don't feel right.
So many people may ask, where is KD? Well, KD is sorry as fuck. I tried my hardest to put him on this list. In fact, I tried my hardest to put him on the honorable mentions. I just couldn't. He played no immediate Hall of Famers besides Biggie, and I can't reconcile. No adequate competition, played like shit on Sacramento, was a sidekick over Tmac. Played 3 games on Denver and then dipped. What the fuck? Bro really had my player career like I can't rank him as high as you guys wanted me to. Next. Well, why is Victor so high? Well, you guys need to take into account how great of a defender this man is. If he was an average scorer, Isaiah wouldn't win a chip and Giannis sure as hell wouldn't even touch the playoffs. He is the most impactful player ever, bro. I was talking shit. I know I said he couldn't lead a team, although that being true, he is still a great leader and the best defender ever. He doesn't even need to lead a team. Why is Emily so high up? Especially over Giannis and Henry? Well, to be frank, I only see Giannis passing Emily, but Henry can kick rocks because he is not even as moderately good as Emily. Okay, maybe he has passing and shit, but Emily isn't too far with playmaking. If Emily switched conferences with him, she would do more. She also blows him out the water with scoring and clutch performing. I'm not going to go too in-depth with this, but I have already talked about this enough. I don't want to regurgitate the same points over and over. Okay, so let me mention players who have potential to reach this list. I have Adu, Xavier, Harden, Harden, Jamal, August, Victoria, Captain, and Brandon. Adu can be better than KG. Xavier can go down as the greatest shooter of all time, maybe him or Firestone, who knows. Jamal is like Kobe but less of a shooter. Harden can go down as the greatest 4 of all time based upon winning. August can do damage in the West. Victoria can be a top 5 scorer of all time or the best mid-range shooter of all time. Captain, if he stops being a pussy, can be one of the best centers of this generation. Brandon can be the best defensive center ever. I will add in Ferdinand as well. He has potential to be the best rebounder ever. Okay, I'm joking. Anyways, that's it. Christmas is a bust, fuck Bam Wham, and fuck Marie.
¿Está usted de acuerdo con esta definición?
Vamos a ver. En primer lugar, si
¿Está
quiere
de
usted
acuerdo
ahora-
con esta definición
no,
o no?
No estoy de acuerdo
Pues es
porque
suya.